start.
Okay, I'm in front of the church of San Lio, in Campo San Lio. It's kind of near the Rialto area of Venice. And I wanted to tell you the story today about Cecilia Ferrazzi. She was born in 1609, lived till 1684, and she was quite an interesting person. We know about her because of court records for her arrest. But I'm going to back up and tell the first part of her story. She was quite a devout young woman, wanted to enter the church. In fact, it's a little bit strange. She really wanted to become a nun, and for various reasons her family said no, they weren't going to let her be a nun, even though she would pray all the time. She and her brothers would be down on their knees praying. But her parents passed away, so she was an orphan and had to kind of find her own way in the world. Strangely, instead of just entering a convent, she tried to become more of an independent woman. She started taking in other young girls who were orphaned to try to give them a home. And by doing this, it actually made her a little bit suspicious. I guess the idea in the 1600s of a woman being independent and kind of making her own money and making her own way made people uncomfortable. And there's another thing that made people uncomfortable. She also would have these kind of holy visitations or divine visitations. She believed that Jesus would come to her. She would sometimes even kind of go crazy. The court records describe things of her scratching the walls and harming herself. So she's a really interesting person, seems very compassionate for taking in young orphans, but also a little bit, I don't know, unsettled in herself with these holy feelings that would come over her. What eventually happened was she was actually arrested because I think the idea that this person, this woman with some power, but having these holy visions really unsettled a lot of people. And some people said that she was actually giving communion to people. When other members of the church heard this, priests heard this, they were very upset. And they actually had her arrested, and there was a trial saying that she was trying to pretend to be a priest and give communion. So there's actually lengthy records about this arrest kept in the state archives. And she did have some prison time and then house arrest after that before she was finally released. But I'm here in front of this church because this is where she was baptized, and then later when she was buried, the service was held here as well. So that's Cecilia Ferrazzi, and I go into a lot more detail about her in my book, but I wanted to show you this place today here in Campo San Lio.